Welcome everybody back to Chatbox, the only podcast in the world that is edited on CapCuts. Today we have our newest guest. He is, and of course, as always, I have it written down on the soul card. He is former IBL flag football and Braveheart soccer player, a decorated D2 athlete, arguably one of, if not the greatest fogos in Louisiana lacrosse history. Is that it? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jaime.
Hello everyone. Glad to be here.
How you doing, Jaime? It's been a while since I've seen you, and it's been a while since you've been in videos.
Definitely.
It's been a while. Probably the last one, what? Flag football, soccer?
I think it was soccer, man. Yeah. Went out a rough way. You know, the ref kind of sold me Trey Weber, but.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Oh yeah, there was a big brawl with that too.
All right, we'll start with the elephant in the room. This is Koopman's older brother. That's a big one. We love Koopman. We love you, Koopman.
Probably our number one fan right now, huh? I think he's made an appearance in every single comment section so far.
I think he has the most comments on the channel. This is Koopman's what's the word? Predecessor?
Yes.
Koopman's predecessor. Shout out Koopman, we love you. Anyway, Jaime, as we know, you're a D2 athlete, and you played at Liberty Mutual University, as it says on a shirt.
As it says on a shirt.
You want to tell me. You had many offers, right? You did. You had a couple. What, 3 or 4 before you committed?
So pretty much how it went is I had Lincoln Memorial was my first one. I had a couple D3, and I was in the talks with 10 other schools, but you know I wanted to go here and wanted to be one of the first ones to commit, so I did, and yeah.
So that's why you committed early, or is that just because you just wanted to?
So I really loved the school. It was honestly really a great place. I loved the team aspect that I saw. My recruiter was awesome. Shout out to Andrew Briones, now at William Jewell, new Division II team. But he was awesome. The school was awesome. Everyone there seemed awesome, and you know, I was just like, man, I want to pull the gun. I don't want to wait any longer. But
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So was there any other consideration of a different, like one of the schools that you did have? Because I know you had Centenary was the one.
Centenary. I had Hendricks. I had Huntington, a school in Alabama. I was, like I said, I was also in talks with other ones. I had a couple Florida schools that were very interested, but man, I just couldn't pass up going live in Tennessee in the mountains for a year or 4.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's great. I think it's cool. I was so happy for you whenever you committed. I remember the day we were sitting in old American history class junior year whenever it all happened, and I just remember I was proud of you. I was happy to see that you got to do something like that. And, show off your lacrosse skills. By the way,
still had some haters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
even on our own team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm sure. That's how it was for everybody. At least not Winston. Everybody likes Winston for whatever reason.
Everyone loves Winston.
It's just one of those things. But why lacrosse? Why did you join? I remember we were like, this stupid kid from our rival middle school, like, why is he here?
So, man, pretty much, man. I loved every sport growing up. I played everything you could imagine, but going into high school and going into a school like Catholic, I mean, we were just number 1 in baseball in the nation.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to go to a school like that when you're a mediocre baseball player, mediocre basketball, football player. You're just not going to go in and probably get a lot of play time or really do much. So I was looking at wrestling. I was looking at lacrosse. So picked up the stick first time going into my freshman year during the summer. Coach Hopkins was the first person to ever talk to me, and
shout out Coach.
Yeah, shout out Coach Hopkins.
Love Coach Hopkins.
Yeah, it was just fun, man. The group around me looked like awesome people. I mean, obviously I knew a couple of y'all. We played each other a couple times every year in basketball or whatever, and I just loved it and picked it up pretty quick. And I was like, okay, sure, of course, I'll play this.
Yeah. For your information, Jaime was the short kid that played basketball that would try to draw fouls. And he was still better than everybody on the team, but he was still also very obnoxious.
And he had really good dribble moves.
Yeah.
And he was like a little Roomba when he ran out. Wait, so when you were going to pick your school, and you were obviously you had to pick out what you wanted to study too.
Yes.
How big of an impact did that have on was it contending with lacrosse?
So yeah, definitely. When it came to picking my major, I always knew I wanted to be in the medical field in some way. Right now I'm in kinesiology. I hope to go into PA after that. Sorry. But so when I was looking at schools, a lot of the really good schools, especially in Florida, they didn't have my major, and that was a big thing. I wasn't going to go pay, $10,000 to play lacrosse just to play lacrosse. It was also big about school, and the one great thing about Lincoln Memorial was that it was huge for medical schools. It has their own PA program. So
at the school though?
Yeah, the school itself, it has a PA program in Florida and in Tennessee, in Knoxville. So that was huge, and like I said, a lot of the other schools didn't. So once I saw, okay, dang, they have a really good program.
Yeah, I got you.
It's you know everything I wanted. It was perfect. And it was just like, this is where I want to go, and it was very big for me for sure. Because school comes first.
Yeah. I really only ever considered going out of state for Southern Miss. Obviously, I wanted to play football there too, but I mean, I'm sure you know by now I don't play football at Southeastern. I think that's pretty well established considering that I'm sitting here doing a podcast. but yeah, I think Lincoln Memorial it looks nice. It looks super nice up there. I looked at it whenever you first committed. I looked at it.
It's outside of Louisiana. It's got to be nice.
Once you cross the state line, it's just like, wow, the rest of the country's nice.
The air's cleaner too. I don't know.
So you said you committed early because you wanted to shoot the gun early.
Yep.
You were there. You wanted to play lacrosse because you just ended up enjoying it that summer. Why Fogo? Because I remember you started as kind of an offensive midi, defensive midi tag team right there.
So freshman year, I played O-midi. I did face-offs, but they were hard to face-offs. It was just stick someone out there. And sophomore year, going into our fall, you had our reigning best Fogo, William Conger. Shout out to William. He's an awesome
guy. He's over
at
West Point, I believe.
Yeah, West Point. He plays club too. He's a beast.
Mm.
But, man, he was starting, and Coach Hopkins was like, hey, we need a couple Fogos. I was like, what the hell is that? And I was playing midfield, and while I felt like I was doing well, I was practicing. I was trying to get better and better and better. I was just like, man, I'll try it out. And every day, that guy just kicked my skull in. Every day. Just dominated me, and I'm like, man.
How do you think I felt whenever I started going against you?
Exactly. But to me, it was still fun, and seeing him play at that high level, and seeing him, get offers, and the way he was made me want to almost replicate that in any way I could, because he was just such a good role model, and I did face-offs, I did pretty well, and that was my year. I got bumped up to varsity later in the year, and got my first varsity reps against Brother Martin.
And then everyone on the team just started getting letters.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone except for me.
So you,
it took me until junior year to get that.
There's nothing wrong with that either. But
and it was once I switched to his position. Once I became his backup, I got a letter.
So you saw Conger get to that level, and you were like, maybe if I just put in enough reps, I can get like that too, and then even better.
No, definitely.
At one point, you saw you could get better, and
well, so at the beginning of the sophomore year, obviously I wasn't great. I just started, but midway through the year and towards the end when we were going into playoffs, I would actually start maybe winning a couple every now and then.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, dang,
let's go.
I'm getting good at this.
Just to see progress.
Exactly. And at the time, I was actually third string. I wasn't even second because you had Sam Larson ahead of me.
Yeah.
And that's whenever I was going 50-50 with him every day in practice. And I'm like, man, I just want to. My goal was to outbeat him so that by my junior year, I would be the starter. I would outbeat him. He ended up quitting, which was, I guess, awesome for me because then I had
very lucky for you. Because I remember I had faced off against him before I was actually a Fogo. That was my thing. I never I didn't face off until I got into junior year around that same time that you started. But I remember facing off against him. He was good. He was pretty decent.
He was good. Yeah, he was super, super quick, and he was good. And me going against him and Conger every day just made me that much better. I mean, we were butting heads all the time. We were, going at it, and that's just what made me better. So
at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
the worst time.
He was more on the athletic side, huh? He wasn't as technically sound.
He wasn't as dominant as Conger was. Conger used a lot of strength, a lot of speed. He was more of a speed guy, and
and that's why he's at West Point.
5'2", sophomore, maybe weighing 120, going against a guy who's 5'10", who's 200 pounds. And Conger had some muscle to him, but like I said, it just going against them and being like, all right, I'm right there. If I just do this, I'm that much better, and I might be able to outbeat that guy. Made me every day want to go to practice, work, and after school, I would go to where track was, and I'd practice, and coaches saw that, and I improved over the year. And
so you want to give me a little bit of insight on your D2 experience that you had?
Yeah, definitely, man. So, like I said, I committed early. I think my first kind of welcome to the show was going into that freshman year during the summer, where pretty much I met up with the starting guy there. He's been starting there for 3 years. He's a beast. Hayden. His name's Hayden, and he was good, man. I went against him, and he just dominated me. Like, pretty much, like, he would just beat me. He'd find new ways to always win. And
Where's he from?
he's from Tennessee, so he's from Cookeville, Tennessee.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Yeah, so he's from there, and, that was my damn, all right, I got to get better. So, got better and got better and got better, and to the point where, man, during the season, I was 50-50 with him and 50-50 with all the other guys, and it was just like, all right, I'm at that level now. But it took me a good bit. It made me, start lifting a little bit more, start running a little bit more, start practicing a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how was y'all's conditioning there? Give us a little insight on that.
So, the good thing is, I will say this.
Was it the Cur Dog standard?
No. We did a lot more conditioning at Catholic High than we did at Allen.
That's crazy.
Man,
But
that's wild.
It's crazy because we didn't do a lot of long runs, man. At Catholic, you'd be winded, but here it was more like fine-tuned. It was all working about quickness and burst, like getting out of something and be able to be fast out of it. So it was a lot of like calisthenics. It wasn't a lot of running. We would have days on Saturdays, 8 in the morning, we're going out, and it's pretty much, that's when we did a lot of our running, a lot of balls to the wall kind of thing, and that was pretty good. I mean, I will admit I was not the most well conditioned there at all. But I will say there were a couple people that were worse than me at it, but I definitely, that was kind of a kick in the butt once we kind of got into it. But not a lot of conditioning. But I will say during the season, we did these things called 17s, and just to kind of explain it, it's about 10 yards, and 10, 12 yards, and it's pretty much 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Full sprint, full stops, man. Those are burners, or if we were having a bad practice, we would do gassers and man.
No.
Usually when the drill has like a name like that, like just like a stupid name, it's gonna be like
Hades, something like that.
What was it? We had
An intervals, huh? Is that what you're talking
snake
about?
drill or something.
Snake drill was the
What was the snake?
Never.
Oh
make
my
your,
god!
Never.
are so bad.
Never make your team do snake drill. That is.
Everyone just gets shin splints.
That is shin splint.
No, yes.
that is how you get shin splints.
We literally had a shin splint problem. I remember that.
We had people like skipping practice. Like I remember, we had like David, and then there was like every now and then even him or like myself.
Some of the seniors.
We'd have to sit out for like
the
a couple
seniors wouldn't even
plays.
show up to practice till an hour later because they wanted to get on his snake, bro. Those are actually so bad.
That's so bad.
They didn't even make you that much better.
No, it just hurt. That's it. Like
so, what's the crazy thing is I never had shin splints in high school. No matter how much we ran, it would just be my legs that hurt. Dude, when I got to college, my shin splints. I had to go to our trainer every day.
To roll them out and stuff?
To get rolled out.
Oh.
To get everything imaginable, to get stem, because we had it's a patch, you put it on, and it attached this huge thing, and it would just literally electrify your calves.
Oh, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is.
Yes.
They have that Catholic?
They did have it at Catholic. It was smaller. It's more like they put needles in.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, they were seriously bad. I think it was about 2 months where my shin splints were so bad, I could barely run at practice. I was really, I couldn't run on my actual feet. I have to run on, my heel.
Yeah.
It was miserable. And it was, another 20 guys on the team that had them bad, too. And you can't give 100% because they just hurt so
And it's, stiff, too. It's you're almost, stiff. Too.
Exactly.
It's weird. It's almost, it's like running with bricks on your feet.
It's almost like running with, when your calves cramp, it was almost like running with that because you're just so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most pain I've ever
You can't recover when you have practice the next day.
Exactly.
And then the next day.
It's the worst. I mean, I just remember doing all that, and then, so that was at the same time that I was working to kick and stuff, too. That sophomore year that we first got on varsity, or varsity JV, I just remember getting the worst shin splits in the morning, going kick in the afternoon, and then come back to practice, and I'm, unable to, give 100%, no matter how much. It's I'm running at, 30% speed because my legs are just bricks at this point. They're so stiff and hurt. And I'm just I can't do it anymore.
And then the next thing you know, we had a few people on our team picking up David Goggins' books.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. besides
Yeah.
the D2 experience, what about like student athlete experience? Did they treat you pretty well? Did they give you meals and whatnot?
Yeah, so honestly, being a student athlete it's awesome. First of all, it's definitely an experience. I feel like if you have the skill and you have the drive and you love a sport, you should definitely get it. Being a D2 school, we're not D3 to where we don't like it's not as funded. D2 we were fully funded. We got all our scholarships. The school, nice charter buses.
Oh wow!
You know we get food before, we get food after. We got our own athletic trainer. We had our own facilities. I mean, everything you could imagine, everything you could have wanted. Gear all free, shirts all free, hats all free. It was pretty nice. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not those things that make you.
Yeah, right.
It's not the make it. It's not the make or break. It's not the things that really matter, especially as a student athlete, because you just have so many things going on. Because as y'all know, man, college is not easy. It's
Whenever you do stuff like this every day,
it's a lot of work just as a student. But on top of being an athlete, on top of not even just being an athlete, on top of this is where you're at start of the season. Now you got to get better. Now you have to compete with your teammates every day to win their job. Every day's a new day, and you have to win. You have to beat them and win their job.
That's 100% agree. And then what if you're like, all right, I don't just want to be a lacrosse dude, and I don't just want to be a school person. Yes. I also want to have a little bit of an outside life too. Like that just throws into everything else and just messes it up.
Makes it like I know exactly what you mean. It makes it hard. I mean, I was at the time, beginning of the semester, I was training for football still, and I was doing this, plus I was doing school, and it's like, this had to be one of my lower priorities, but I also, didn't want to stop, because, all this stuff, and then here we are now, and
and then if you want to get better at this, you have to put more time into it, but you don't want to sacrifice,
It was like, it's like at this point, it's like I just want to get rid of school. just let me punt and let me do YouTube, and I'll be happy.
Time management is just so huge, especially as a student in general. Because, like you said, you don't want to just be a lacrosse player. You don't want to just be a student. You want to have a social life.
Right.
You want to be able to I will say the good thing about where Lincoln Memorial is at. It's in a really small town. It's in the Cumberland Gap, but it's super small. Not much around. They had 2 bars. I never went out just because I was really focused on lacrosse. I wanted to have that extra edge on me. And also, it's just like, I'm just not one of those people that needs to always go out. I like to just chill and do my own thing half the time. But it's definitely huge being able to manage time because, I mean, my schedule, especially in the fall, was a lot. I mean, you're busy all morning. You're busy most of the day. And after that, now you got practice. Before that, you and then it's 6 o'clock. And you go to the cafeteria. You're done by 7, and it's 7 o'clock.
And then it's free time.
Exactly. And then I get freaking back to my dorm and I'm like, all right, what do I want to do? I'm out, and it starts over the next. I'm
gonna watch a few reels and then you're just done.
Exactly.
Out. Cut.
Yeah. So like, y'all had a Jackson Ramsey was telling me the LSU team, they have like a lacrosse house. It's like a fraternity house.
Really?
What?
It's in like a neighborhood off of.
That's sick.
I don't know. It's because it's funny. I was just wondering.
Crazy.
Y'all probably don't have anything like that because y'all are actually funded.
Yeah. So like
they're more like a group. So they had to do that on their own. They had to set that up on their own. Okay.
Yeah, LSU's pretty. Yeah.
No, our dorms were really nice. We had like all the athletic dorms are super super nice.
Joel's dorm. I remember you showing me. It's so nice.
It's awesome. So like we never really had anything like that. A lot of guys would go down to our facility and do homework, or our athletic training room was always open. We'd go do cuppings, or we'd do a Normatex. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's just like you put it all the way on your legs.
Oh, it's the big
It inflates in air.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
That was a lot of the time that you'd spend with the team doing that kind of stuff, or like someone would just be like, "Hey, we're doing something in our dorm tonight," because we had whole living rooms, had whole kitchens, and
you
also do that.
You had a putting green in there, huh?
Y'all, dude, we had a putting green. We had hockey, bro. We had every sport.
That's crazy. Y'all's dorm looks like part of my old house. Like whenever you showed me it, I was like, that literally is my kitchen. Like, that's my own kitchen.
What?
It's crazy.
What's crazy is that's one thing that made me want to go there, dude. The dorms are so nice. Like, I had my own room. How many people can say as a freshman in college that you have your own room?
Like nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody that watches this at least.
Yeah.
Maybe Cangy, because Cangy actually does have his own room, but they live in an apartment.
Yeah.
But so if you don't mind me asking, why did you want to transfer?
So the thing was, like I mentioned earlier, I love this. I love the area. I love the people. I love the school. It's awesome. I did well, and I met some amazing people, and those are probably some friends I'm gonna have for a long time. But it came down to what am I really, really there for? School and lacrosse. School is going good, but I'm not gonna go pay money to go 12 hours away and do school.
Gotcha,
the main reason I was there was lacrosse.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was kind of put to the side a lot of the times. I didn't have my own coach. We had 2 coaches for 50 guys.
Oh, no.
That's not...
Wait, you had like a defensive coordinator and an offensive
coach, and we
coordinator?
had an O coach.
That was it?
And what's crazy is they switched midway through the year.
Oh, no.
One coach, the D coach coached offense, and the O coach coached defense for...
That sounds just like Hawkins.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't work, and, it just felt like I didn't have my own coach. I didn't feel like I was progressing the way I wanted to. Not having your own coach means you don't have a coach there looking at you every practice and be like, oh, this guy's doing really well this week. Let's give him a shot, playing.
So you're just kind of like wasting your time, huh?
Exactly. So I'm going to practice, and I'm on the sidelines doing face-offs for about an hour. The other times I'm playing defense. I'm not going to go on defense. I'm a face-off guy.
Right.
It's not going to happen. And so, I'm sitting, I had an amazing week of practice, and, I was winning. I was doing everything I needed, playing well on defense, playing well on everything. And, I'm just riding pine the whole time because it's just like, man, I don't have a coach to be like, all right, well, you did well, and our guys aren't doing as well. Go in.
I totally can understand that. I know you've heard the story of the past 2 podcasts, but I'm telling you. And whenever I tried out to punt and stuff, it was like they couldn't be bothered by anybody there. They knew that they didn't need to try out more people, but they had to have a tryout. So we were there. 2 people made the team out of everybody that was there, not including myself. 2 people that had PW as LSU. And I know you definitely heard me say this 100 times now.
I could recite it actually.
It's like I understand that completely because I just know what it's like to have a coach just ignore you. And I felt like freshman year, especially at Catholic playing for Demas, that's how I felt.
Oh yeah,
on the end line.
I was one of those people that at that time that I was actually super into lacrosse. I had no thought of playing football in my mind.
I do remember that.
And I was on it. I was in the grind, and I would be like 4th string. And I was like how? Like, I'm doing stuff that these people aren't, but you don't care. And it's like he's focused on what is already there for him. And I feel like that's kind of similar to the situation that you just presented.
No.
It's like, go ahead.
No, so I definitely, that's 100% right. And also, a lot of people didn't know this, and this was a huge reason why I just kind of didn't mesh as well. But, so the guy that recruited me, like I told you, Andrew Briones, the school wouldn't pay him. He recruited probably half the team that was there. And he recruited 16 out of the 17 freshmen in my class.
He wasn't getting paid at all?
He wasn't getting paid. He was a GA, so his school was getting paid, but he had just graduated. So now it's, okay, I'm not in school anymore. Now I'm a lacrosse coach. Mm-hmm. School didn't want to pay him, only wanted to pay 2 guys.
He would travel to go and meet players and stuff?
Yeah, all the time.
Holy smokes.
He was an awesome recruiter, awesome person. And, the school wouldn't pay him, and he texted me individually, and he was just like, hey, I'm just not going to be there next year. The school didn't want to pay me. I have to get a job. I have to make money.
So
he
totally
left,
understand that.
He was an awesome coach on top of an awesome recruiter. And so now they got rid of 2 GAs, and now they just left with 2 coaches. And the main guy I went there to play for, left. And the main guy who watched me all summer, who watched me, progress from my junior year to my senior year, he wasn't there. So, now I'm stuck with 2 coaches who never recruited me, never did really anything for me besides, hey, here's a scholarship. You know what I mean?
Dude.
So it's like, that was hard because if he would have been a coach, he could have dealt with face-offs. He could have been like, I know what you got. Let's get you more playtime. It's as simple as that. And that didn't happen, and it resulted in what it did.
Gosh, dude.
I'm curious to ask this because before the season, it was right before I broke my hand in the quarterfinal game against Bird. I got a DM from this school called, it was ACU, I think it's Arizona Christian.
Yeah.
And you follow them too. That's how I knew that it was a legit thing. They asked, because I have in God and hard work we trust. That's I live by that kind of, right? And they DM'd me on Instagram. I'm curious if they ever DM'd you. I think it's Arizona Christian.
Yeah, they DM'd me too.
I know they DM'd you.
Is it like a cardinal or something on it?
Yeah, it's the Cardinals. Or it's like the birds of some sort.
Yeah, I was
like
talking.
a red bird, obviously, or yellow beak. They were like, hey, we love that you're at Catholic. We love that you have you're at a religious school. Do you want to come play for us? You play lacrosse? Blah, blah, blah. Did they ever reach out to you?
I never got that. No, I got a school name called Dallas Baptist. I got that.
Oh, yeah?
Dallas Baptist.
No, not really. I mean,
Was that before or after you committed?
Oh, that was way before. They were one of my first people to recruit me.
Okay, you know what? I'm just realizing this. I got that. I just said I did it whenever I broke my hand, which was senior year. You had already committed by then. You committed, yeah. You committed, before the season started.
I actually committed. I committed.
It was in I feel like it was in October.
What's funny was a guy, Andrew Briones, that recruited me. He actually sent me an offer. We had talked for months and months and months, and he offered me in health class. And I remember just because that was my first offer, I'd been
in health class.
Yeah, I've been freaking trying so hard to get an offer for so long, and I remember receiving the text. I remember because I think you can't have your phone. I was like, and I saw a big text, and I was like, oh, this might be it. I ran to the bathroom, checked it out. I was I was so happy. I was just so excited.
No, I'm sure.
Called my mom, talked, it was awesome. But, no, so I got my offer middle sophomore year, kind of going into our season. I committed at the end, and it was during our season. I committed probably about 75% way through their season. And I actually wanted to wait till we had one state and playoffs were over because I didn't want it being about me. I wanted it being about the team, and we won state that year. And the moment we won, 2 weeks later, I announced the commitment. But I committed months before that.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for the announcement of it.
Yeah, I remember the picture of you with the orange. I'm not the orange. The yellow shaft and the bent up head. You called it banana animal.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the banana. What was it?
I think that was it.
It might have been. But it was something like that. But yeah, I would always yell. I'd be like, "Yo, give me the banana splitters." Something like that.
And it's this bright yellow shaft, literally banana color, and then pink tape around it.
It's actually a goalie shaft.
Well, that wasn't that weighted one. We had a really heavy yellow shaft or something.
No, that wasn't. I don't think that was his. I think that was just a yellow shaft.
Oh, okay. I remember it was there, and I always saw it. And I was like, "Whose is that, bro?"
No. Brady gave me a goalie shaft for whatever reason. I'll take that.
Brady just gifts people things. I have a driver now for golf. He just gave me his old driver. I was like, okay.
And his money in poker.
Oh yeah, Brady. I need some more money.
Brady, this is why you got fired, because you spend more money than you spend time working on videos.
Brady, go make some chicken salad.
Yeah, come on. Let's get out of here. So, what do you think about what was your motivation to keep going? Because you kind of said, you obviously you're inspired by Conger, blah, 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 all this stuff. But now that you're out of LMU, now that you're going to LSU, you're going to try for that program, right? You're going to do fine in there. What's the motivation to keep going after that point? Because I feel like a lot of people, once they leave schools, it's almost like they give up on what they were doing at the other school.
Well, so in my my senior year, I lost motivation for the sport just because I had already committed. I was kind of busting my butt. What I felt like was for no reason.
Right.
But obviously, it was towards a better goal.
Yeah.
But, you kind of just got to man up and do it. But, right now, I guess my motivation really is just the love of the sport, wanting to succeed at whatever level it is, being able to be a guy that helps tour programmer. My favorite thing is being able to do well in a game and a coach be like, you had a great game.
I got you.
Good job. You know what I mean? That's something that I always love, and just, the love of the sport and the love of being around a group of people with the same kind of goal is really big for me, and that's my biggest motivation.
That's like what you were saying. When you're the way to get motivation is just you're working towards something, and then there's results that come back to you, and you can see it. You can see yourself getting better. Yep. Usually, it sucks if you have to work for 6 months before you see any results.
Yeah,
because you're am I doing it right, or am I wasting my time?
And so that was the thing at LMU, which sucked, was I felt like I was putting in a lot of effort, a lot of work, but I never really got the chance to show the results. I played in 10 games. I got minimal reps. I got a couple reps, maybe 4 or 5 at the most on some of these games.
Gotcha.
And that's just you can't really do much with 3 or 4 reps, even 5 reps. You know, it takes
Yeah.
10, 15 to really show what you're about. I mean, it kind of sucks in that way that I never really got to see my full potential. But you know, that's okay. That's how life is.
So they don't really care about like a 90% win percentage when you only had like 4 face-offs or something, only like 5 face-offs.
Well, yeah. So during my first fall in college, you know, we played 3 games. We played against a D3. We played against 2 D3 teams that are very well known, very good D3 programs. We played against an NAI program that was really well. I went 70-70 in my first 2 games.
Oh wow,
which was awesome.
That's not bad at all.
That's good.
In my 3rd game, I went against a senior All-American, and you know he dogged me down. Simple as that. I'm like 33%. But I'm a freshman going against a senior All-American. Like what? There's
What do
only
you do? That's like borderline pro.
Exactly.
Who was it? Could we be? Is he like playing? Is he going to play somewhere?
I don't know his name. No, he goes to Center College, which they're usually like top 25 of the nation. He's been there for 4 years. He's done well. He's an All-American. So if you're an All-American and whatever, D3, D2, you're good.
You're all automatically.
Like I had, you know, 2 games where I went 70%. You know, that was my like, okay, dang, like I can hang with these guys. And you can even probably find my stats somewhere now, but I was above 50% all year. Didn't dip below. I had games where I maybe went 33%. I had games where I went 70%. But at the end of the day, I was above 50 all year. I had about 40 reps. So I was showing that I can win. I could do what I needed to do.
But then they didn't have the coaches and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that completely. It's, again, back to the football thing. I mean, that's how I felt. I felt like I was doing everything that I could. Even before I actually got to play in my senior year, it just felt like I was sitting there, I was doing my reps, but then like I wouldn't have anybody watching me or something like that, or even whenever I tried out. And I actually wanted to ask you, because you were one of the top supporters of me whenever I was in that whole punter era. What is your opinion about me not making the team? I want to know. I'm genuinely curious, because we haven't talked since before that, honestly. So.
Here's the thing. College sports is a different beast.
Yeah,
it's you can be good enough to get on a roster, does not mean you're good enough to play, does not mean you're good enough to do something. And if you do play, so college is a different beast, and to a lot of coaches, it's a business. It's not.
Yeah.
You're to them, you're something that can make or break their career.
Well, I've never heard about it like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy.
Like, these coaches are fighting for that's their job. That's how they put food on the table for their family. So it's not in high school where these coaches want to, come down to your level, be able to help you grow as a person, grow as, grow into a man. So it's like making a team is hard, playing on a team is hard. It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
And, there's a reason for everything. And some people have the skill and it doesn't work for them, and that's just how it is sometimes. And it sucks, but you just got to keep going. You got to keep working.
So like at some point, like you got to if you're not being noticed and stuff, like what would your advice be at that point? Just like make an Instagram account, just start boasting about yourself.
Look, if you're in high school and you want to get noticed, and it's your junior year and you feel like you're not getting noticed, you just have to keep going. Like you really do have to be. You can't give up, because then you have no chance.
Yeah.
Like, I felt, luckily for me, I was getting noticed. I mean, going into my junior year, I was getting noticed. So at that point, it was, okay, now I want to get noticed by the schools that are good,
Yeah, I got you.
So you got to keep going. Like, you got to just keep grinding, because it's going to work out. And even if it doesn't, there's still stuff you can do. Like you said, you went to school to Southeastern. You didn't get asked to put on the football team, but you worked. And just as easy as they said no, they could have said yes.
Yeah.
So you can't ever give up. And if it's truly not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And who knows where that's going to take you. And not only does it help where you are now, like if you're grinding for a sport, man, it's keeping you in shape. It's keeping you doing what you need to do. Even if you don't make it, it's still now, okay, well, let me take that work ethic into everything I do. Whether it's YouTube with you, Joe Chad, or it's work, or it's school. Like, it's as simple as, if you can do it in one aspect of your life, you can do it in others. You just have to find the drive. You have to.
I got you.
Truly the best way that you could have put that, to be totally honest. But I must ask, Are you happy to be home? Are you happy to finally be like back and consistently here?
Dude, I mean, yeah, I love it, man. All my friends are here, all my family's here, all the people I love and I care about, they're here, and I've had an awesome time since I've been home.
Yeah.
Freaking gambling, chilling, dude. I think that's pretty much all.
The average college life.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, one thing people don't realize, man, having a girl too, man. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
I had no girl up there. My girl was down here, so that was.
Yeah.
I bet that was putting you on the edge all the time, huh?
Oh yeah, man.
I heard some stories about that.
Yeah, dude. That's so.
I mean, I heard the opposition side. So I mean,
Yeah,
like you
A
know.
little bit,
The one thing about, especially if you're playing college sports, and for me, there's not a lot of schools around here that have it. So I'm gonna be, far away from the people I love, and long distance man, it's hard. It's not easy, but I mean, we're still kicking it. We're still going. It worked out for us, but as easy as it worked out, it could have been even worse.
Easily.
It's a simple. It's not
for sure.
And for me, I was juggling school. I was juggling sports. I was juggling trying to keep what's it called, like a social scene, and trying to deal with a girl. It's not easy. It's hard, but I mean, if it's worth it, it's worth it.
Just gotta send it, bro.
Yeah, you just gotta do what you gotta do. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I somewhat understand. I come home every weekend from Southeastern. It's not that bad for me. It's not a 12-hour drive. Obviously, you don't have the freedom that I have to come back and stuff. So it's a little different, but I did understand being away for a long, an extended period of time, especially if she had something to do like that following weekend. So it's like, now I literally just have no way to see her, right? I can see her after school, can't do all this stuff. You obviously had it much worse.
Yeah.
I totally understand though. Like, it makes total sense to me that it would be hard to juggle everything, especially with how busy college can be, how apathetic professors can be.
Yeah.
That's a call out to my professor.
That's all part of the process, and
Every
that's
single
all,
professor.
It's all something I wanted to do. I knew going into it that's how it's going to be, but I wanted to.
Was your girlfriend, was she like one of the reasons you came back? You felt like that was just like, oh wow, that's it's awesome that I'm coming back to it.
No, I will say, like, I hear stories about people who could have gone and played college sports, and their girlfriend was like, no.
Yeah, there's no way.
She was so supportive. Like, she wanted me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She I literally sat down with her one day, and I was just like, what do you want me to do? You tell me what you want me to do.
Dang, that's crazy.
She just said, I want you to go.
That's bold.
Went, and then we had the same talk when I was coming back home, and I was trying to decide what I want to do with my future, and it was, what do you want? She said,
Wait, so you just straight up put that decision in her hands?
No, it wasn't in her hands, but I want her to be genuine with me, so I sat her down and was just like, what do you want me to do? And she just told me, she was just like, I want you to do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I got you.
Man.
And to me,
girlfriend. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's good. I like to hear that. I like to hear stories like that. That's very nice, and I think that I would appreciate that. I know if I was, you in that situation, I totally understand.
Better than being on a leash.
Not saying that. I'm not saying that, I was, I'm not saying mine wasn't supportive or anything. I'm just saying that, like, it's very nice to have somebody that...
It takes a special person to give up someone like that, it's not easy. And, she's such a strong person. She's such an amazing person that she wanted me to be happy, and she was just like, no matter what we got to go through, we'll do it.
Maybe she read the script and knew that you were going to come back probably in about a year. Probably. Maybe that's why she said that. She's like, I can deal with it for like a year. All right, but let me ask you something. Now you're home, right? You're home indefinitely, as far as we know, at least, right? Lacrosse is still going to be a thing.
Yep.
But I must truly ask the question that we're all waiting to answer. Will you be returning to IBL videos?
I will definitely be returning to IBL videos. I gotta, get my game up, man. I gotta start working out again. I gotta start doing some stuff, but I'm totally gonna be back.
Let's talk about it for a second. You have no IBL accomplishments at all. Like, you have nothing under your belt.
I really don't.
He's got stats in the football league.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't.
No championship, no gold. There's no gold. Me and you have gold. You're some kind of champion. I don't even know which champion you are right now, but...
We haven't won a single football. Yeah. We didn't win any of them.
I mean, we won district, but that was it.
Hey, I'm coming for that goal.
Jaime's back.
I'm coming for that goal.
Alan Boris, you're cooked.
Alan Boris, you're so dumb.
Even though he doesn't Pete.
Just shout out to AB3. You're a goon. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Alan doesn't want to get hazed. I respect it.
Yeah.
I heard Alan's #1 pledge, man. I heard he was him.
We were talking about it with Paul last week, or I guess it was last week, right? Just about, whatever. So you mentioned doing calisthenics and stuff with lacrosse. You mentioned doing, working out and stuff, and like having all this stuff. Do you like? First of all, I want to ask this just for curiosity. Do y'all have an ROTC program or no?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Okay. Well, Paul was on here last week. He was telling us about what? He was telling us about how they run they do like long distance runs, 6-ish miles with calisthenic breaks every like 2
Like
hours.
they stop, they do like 100 burpees, and then they start running again.
Yeah, it's bad, and I personally don't think I could do it. I don't feel like. I'm not asking if you think you could. I was just thinking.
Look,
I was trying to tell you.
I just
made me
would
think
never
about
want
it.
to.
If it was my life, maybe I'd be able to.
Well, yeah, if I did it every day, I'd be okay with it. But I don't do it every day. I can barely run a mile in the gym in the morning. Like I struggle to do that on the treadmill.
What's the goal of ROTC? Like to get into the army and stuff?
It helps you like find what branch you want to go into,
Yeah.
right?
Paul wants to do the Navy. He wants to be in the Navy.
Yeah.
I respect that. I would do Navy if I had the choice. But like,
And it looks better on like your resume, probably.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
rather
like-
just get drafted and just get sent, bro.
You saw that though the other day, the news.
Yes.
we're done.
That's
We're-
insane.
I said that to pool skibble. Yeah, we're going to war, boys.
We're cooked.
And I heard also you can like put in like a tab of like a group of people that you want to go in with.
that sounds terrible.
I might.
This is the last podcast episode of all time. We're gonna war.
I might low key like just put in Brady and then flee to. I'm getting Brady drafted no matter what, and I'm leaving.
Just put in meat shield and then just send Brady.
Oh yeah.
I'm Brady, dude. Oh my god.
They might feel bad for Brady and not shoot him.
You mentioned-
But he's come up on every single episode.
You mentioned Brady in the army. He told me it's I don't know how private this is, and I might scrap it. But
Oh well, we're about to figure out.
we're gonna figure out. We were sitting in our room the other day, and I made it was when school was still happening. I'm struggling my ass off with like statistics and all this random crap that I hate doing. I'm going through it. I was like, throw my pencil on. I'm like, I'm joining the army. I don't want to do this anymore. And I said as a joke. He goes, unironically, I thought about it. And I looked at him and I went, you thought about it.
Okay, but haven't we all thought about it?
A little
bit.
Like what it would be like then?
Yeah.
A little bit, but he meant more so he doesn't have to do school, like joining the army, not ROTC, joining the army.
But if you do the army though, you get everything paid for. So
Yeah, no, for sure. But
that
like, at the same
that
time,
sounds awesome to
if
me.
you really want to basically kill yourself every day,
Yeah.
there's some people that want to do that. That's great. I love that people love to do that. Like, I love that people have the mental toughness to do that. But do you really want to give up school for that? Do you really want to give up what you have in school just because you don't want to do?
It takes a certain man to want to do that, but
Yeah.
Brady is not that guy.
Oh,
Brady's
God.
not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'll admit I'm not that guy.
Brady's definitely
Brady's
gonna
not
be watching.
that guy.
All right, no Brady slander. That's the last of the Brady slander.
Yeah, we still love Brady, even though he's fired.
No, Brady is very fired. But I want to know. So you said you might have considered wrestling too. At Captain,
yeah.
Right. I almost considered wrestling as well. It's not instead of lacrosse, but just as my secondary sport, which ended up being ultimate frisbee for about 2 weeks, which I did end up quitting. But if not lacrosse, then what? If not lacrosse,
Oh.
if you had gone into Catholic, right?
That's tight.
You'd gone into Catholic, lacrosse wasn't a sport there. And we didn't offer lacrosse.
Okay.
What would have happened?
I don't know.
Jaime is a ultimate bowling player. Bowler?
Not
Golf.
a golfer, probably.
How late did you pick up golf?
Oh, really late, like junior
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I honestly would have probably just been like,
Pick up basketball player.
I would have, yeah, exactly. Like I would have just been playing sports for fun. I mean, I'm sure I would have tried to pick a sport, like just say like baseball, and just try to grind in my way. But like, I don't know. Like that's a hard question because you just never really know what kind of opportunities you would get.
Oh yeah.
Really,
I know.
how would it done? Like I don't know.
Just gotta be open to
Come
everything.
join football with me.
Exactly. Like I thought about like my freshman year doing kicker. I mean, I played soccer all my life. I'm not a bad kicker, but.
You could have played soccer too. I mean, I know-
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, you were pretty good at soccer.
Yeah. No, it would have 1,000%.
Yeah,
I played soccer all my life.
Yeah, you were pretty good at soccer.
I made the team. I tried out like my freshman year, and I made the team. But my mom.
So it's like.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But my mother made me decide. She was like, "You either do one or you do the other." I was like, "All right." Well, so that's a funny thing too. People don't know. So I played soccer all my life. I was pretty good. Like I did well. And my mom told me, she was like, you either do soccer or lacrosse. Do I do a sport I've played all my life, or do I do a sport I've never played before?
That's a hard decision to make.
It's a hard decision. It sucked.
Yeah. Didn't you play lacrosse for a little bit, like before? Like I thought you didn't like join a Mustang for a little bit.
No, I literally go. All right, I'll play lacrosse.
And it's harder to like understand at that point. Like if you want to get really good at something, you have to dedicate so much more time to it. And like, how do you split it between those two sports? I mean, unless you're like, just like one of those crazy like tri-sport athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard. That'd be
I was
fun.
a dual sport athlete, but I wasn't really a dual sport athlete. I was a kicker and a fogo. I was a double specialist.
Yeah.
I didn't do.
Double specialist is like.
It wasn't by choice, but kicker was by choice. Fogo wasn't necessarily by choice because I probably would have gotten cut if I didn't play fogo.
Yeah.
To be totally 100% honest. So,
Could have been a D mid though.
I mean, you still hustled and stuff.
You would have been a good D mid though. You really.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, really.
You
No.
really would have. Yeah.
I just committed too much of my time to kicking. I feel like, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like
You enjoyed it your senior year. That's all that really matters.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to kick more than I wanted to play lacrosse, and I think I made that very obvious to everybody, which is why what happened with me and lacrosse just ended up being so like kind of devastating for me, because like I went through a period obviously where I was like, what was that? What was that?
I don't even see what you
I
did.
hope you know I edit these videos. I'm gonna see that. Because I went to a point, obviously, I was like, oh, I'm super into lacrosse. I want to do this. I was even like, at some point, even during quarantine, I was like, oh, I can play the PLL. I'm not good, you know. But then, like, literally by sophomore year, I was like, I hate this sport. I want to quit. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to play football. That's what I want to do. And so that's what I worked for, right? And then it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to quit lacrosse.
Yeah.
But then I had already committed so much of my time to kicking and not lacrosse. I already spent such little time, such little effort at lacrosse just to put all my effort into kicking that by the time I was like, I don't want to quit lacrosse, it would kind of screw myself over. And despite how hard I ended up working afterwards, it was just kind of like I'd already dug myself such a hole that it was like climbing out of it would be like the same as, you know, getting struck by lightning twice.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I mean, it's not easy, you know, because, I mean, there's always things that you want to do besides play the sport you play.
Right.
Because at a certain point, it's okay, I'm not playing it for the love of the game, I'm playing it because, you know, like, it's kind of like a job. It is a job, you know? Like, I mean, I was a starter for 2 years, and I felt like my senior year, I was like, man, I'm already the best guy in the state. Like, I'm really just here for the awards, you know? I'm not really, like, I'm not here because I love it, and that's what makes you, like, find something else that you love and you kind of get.
Of course.
But you always come back because you miss it. You always do.
Mm-hmm. So we had an alumni game in December, right? I didn't plan it to try out for football. How many people got hurt in that game, first of all?
There were so many people. Bean got hurt.
Bean hurt himself. Grant, I don't know if he hurt himself.
I think Schlevy did, yeah.
Grant did. No, yeah, Grant did.
Yeah.
Nathan a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
What's his name? Some older guy.
My knee got messed up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, could you imagine if I didn't even get to try out because I hurt myself again? The second year in a row that I missed a football tryout because I was injured.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Because that's why I missed it. That's why I didn't get to walk on my freshman year. It's because I broke my hand. Remember, I broke my hand in the semifinals or the quarterfinals. That's why I didn't get to try out. Like, could you imagine that? You know how crap I would feel? I'd be horrible.
At that point, I just started like spamming them with like film and stuff.
I would just be, like, I felt bad. Because I sent them my film and stuff, and I was like, first of all, I was the only white kid in the room. That happens sometimes. You know, I was the only white kid that was like submitting my film. Hi, I'm Joe. I'm a punter. Everybody else was like, you know, it's Jamarcus. You know,
I got a preferred walk-on from Hawaii.
Yeah, like everywhere in the world except for here, but I want to play here for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And the grind is something that I just really wanted to be back into, but once it got taken away from me, they didn't even tell me that I didn't make the team. They just didn't tell me anything. They were just kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll let you know by Friday. By that Friday, it was Monday tryout, right? A couple days passed. It's Saturday. I don't have any email. I have nothing.
Your inbox was just like dry.
A couple days later, I see spring training posts, and I'm like, well, there's that. And I was, honestly, to be totally honest, I was devastated. I was mad because I had given up so much for football. I had given up so much to be a punter, and I lost it just like that. But like you said, they could have said yes just as easily as they could have said no. It's just one of those things that just like the coach had to make the decision that he had to make, and whether that was a stupid decision or not is kind of just up in the air.
Yep.
It's just kind of something more.
Yeah.
And it's not really, they're gonna probably think it was a smart decision. I think it was a stupid decision, but you never know who's right?
Yeah.
Like, it just is one of those things, and I'm glad that you got to play D2 for a little bit. I'm glad that you got to go through the experience because not a whole lot of people get to. I feel like there's a low percentage.
Well, how many people in our friend group?
Oh yeah, even people in our friend group. Like we have two college athletes in our friend group, like ever.
Yep.
And it could have been 3. I'll just say it. Could have been 4 with Nate, but yeah, no, I mean they're.
Oh yeah, Nate was telling me about that. He said he was like, I mean, yeah, I thought it was pretty good and stuff, but like I went up north and like the starting midfield line for one of these schools, all of them were like bigger than me.
Yeah, how many?
So it was like
I feel like I said that so many times.
It was like bigger than him, and they had more stick skills.
Yeah,
so it was like.
I was telling people whenever he went, like, I'm not a hater, but like low key, I'm kind of a hater.
Yeah, no, he's a hater.
Like I would see,
100% he's a hater.
I would see like him go up to these camps, and obviously I hope he'd do good. But I'm like, people are like, yeah, man, like he's going up, and I'm like, y'all don't realize like how raw some of these kids are. Like, they're Nate size.
They've got all the athleticism.
They also are like, stinging corners with their left.
They've had a stick in their hand since they were like 2.
Exactly. Like these kids aren't. It's a different beast. I was like, if he's gonna make a team, it's gonna be as a D midi.
Yeah.
Because of his athleticism, he wouldn't play off.
I feel like it's one of those things, like especially like whenever you say, "Oh, I went up north for a camp for lacrosse," I feel like that automatically just puts an image in somebody's head, like, "Oh, he's good," but he doesn't necessarily have to be good. Like that's like if I went up, like if I said, "Oh, I'm going to a camp in Minnesota next week," I'm sure that whoever I told that to would be like, "Oh, yeah, he's good enough to do that, right?" Yeah. But then like y'all would know, like this guy's shit. Like I mean.
I guess it's just like
get smoked.
Yeah, I guess it's just like going a long distance. This person's sacrificing a lot, so it must be something important. Yeah. Like maybe if you were going to like California or something. Like I mean, I know they got some raw schools over there, so or Texas, like Texas for like a camp.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Oh yeah, that's right. Talk about that on other podcasts.
Jaime has no idea what I'm talking about, but I'll spare it for afterwards.
Arena football.
Oh yeah, arena football. Koopman would know because Koopman watches our videos.
I'll ask Koopman. I'll see him later.
I hope so. Tell him I said hey.
I will.
Koopman's a top-notch gamer, bro. He talks some crazy trash talk.
Dude, I'll be.
The whole friend group is so toxic, bro.
Dude, they are.
There's no way we sounded like that. I heard Andrew like cuss someone out the other day.
They're haters, bro. They hate on each other.
No, that's how we used to be. We were like that a little bit. I don't feel like
we were about like certain people, like Brady. Like
just
Brady.
Targeting people, yeah.
But dude, Cooper's ruthless when he talks about like. It's like
Plants vs. Zombies Guard Warfare, and they're like ripping each other to shreds.
God.
Oh, they play Rainbow now.
They're playing Rainbow now, yeah, dude. I love us playing Rainbow.
And Panut's like what? He's 10. Huh?
Bro's 12.
He's 12.
He's gonna be in 7th grade. He's taking exams next year.
That's crazy. His first exam.
Oh yeah, that's right. St. George, I do it earlier.
That's crazy. That's so wild. Because I remember I met Andrew like a couple days after he was born.
Yeah.
Like I remember we were friends whenever Andrew was born. Like that's wild. It's wild.
A little nut.
Yeah, I was there too. I was the dad.
Oh, do you ever get on Cooper about like lacrosse and stuff?
We should ignore that for a second. Like, did you hear what I said?
We can play that back actually.
Yeah, that's going on the highlights. Like whenever they post the little deep scroll reels that you see.
Oh yeah, it takes out segments, like 50 segments, like over there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I get on Cooper all the time because I knew what it take to be as good as I was, and it's not easy. You can't just
start early. If you start
exactly
early.
The easiest thing to do, start earlier.
Just, like he loves playing video games. He loves just chilling. But I'm like, dude, you gotta get outside.
Well, I mean, yeah, at that age, I didn't recognize. No one recognized what you had to do, like to be like that good at just anything.
Exactly.
My biggest regret in sports ever is not taking quarantine. I wish that I had been more interested in football during quarantine.
Yeah.
Because I spent all of quarantine with lacrosse. I would go to the field every day and run and do gassers and sit-ups and all this stuff to make myself really like in shape and stuff. And I was in really good shape, and I had my only ever six-pack that went away in about a month. But
college, bro.
And so I was in such good shape during quarantine, committing it all to lacrosse, right? And then by the time the season came around, I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I want to kick. And if I had like really gone into kicking during quarantine, who knows like where I might have even been able to actually kick instead of punt. And that's not necessarily a bad thing that I did punt instead of kick, but like it was one of those things where I was just like
starting that much earlier would have given you so much more.
That's a whole year
Especially
at least. And like imagine if I started before that or before that. You know, it's like
and then that whole year maybe you didn't like kicking.
Yeah.
Like, then you know what you don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. It was
crazy.
Just such a weird. That's one of my biggest regrets is not acting on it sooner.
Yeah.
I actually say maybe my biggest regret in sports is not playing football in middle school.
Yeah.
Because I only played flag, and I didn't play any tackle, and I talked myself out of playing tackle when we were able to play tackle. And I don't know if I would have been a kicker, but like, that's one of my biggest regrets is not playing in middle school.
I think like going back to quarantine was like so huge. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I was at home for 2 months. Like, I couldn't even go out the house. My mom was like crazy about it.
Yeah.
But like every day I was outside grinding.
Oh yeah.
Grinding.
I remember me and you would talk about it all the time.
Oh yeah, dude, all the time. And what people don't realize is like you don't have to be like grinding for years and years and years to get good. You just have to be like you really just put in the work for 2 to 3 months and like you will see every bit of result and now you're like, okay, well now I gotta do this and then you do it. It's like you just gotta dedicate the time. Like
my
simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like my time is like kind of how I go about it, just like doing something like every day or every other day even. Like every time you do something, you end at like a certain level. Well, next time I just want to do like a little more. Yep. You like that 1% rule or whatever. It doesn't have to be that much. Yep. You just have just a little bit,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I love that 1% better. Coach Cody, shout out. That was this thing, 1% better every day, man, every day.
That's what they said at LMU.
They say that everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, every coach has that on their bag somewhere.
It's like right here. It's like you run out of things to say. You're trying to hype your team up. 1% better every day.
Maybe he pulls out the wrong thing. All right, on the line.
Oh no.
On the line, worst saying of all time.
Worst saying ever in any sport.
Ever. Horrible thing. Jaime, what is the favorite? I want to ask 2 different questions. So favorite video that you've competed in. Otherwise, favorite video that you have seen, including ones that you've competed in.
Okay, so favorite video. I like the original flag. Flag football. That was so fun.
We get that a lot. Yeah,
we get that one a lot.
It was generally just so fun because it was just like
we were so competitive.
Yeah, it would
back and forth. Not a single stop on
defense. My god, it got so competitive.
It got heated too.
Oh yeah,
that's what. Alan's annoying when he like whines and stuff, but like we kind of like need someone there, like not being to where like the whole game gets like held up, but like just someone who keeps like that banter going.
Yeah. Football is definitely like my most favorite. Like those are just most favorite to compete in. Yeah. Honestly, probably to watch. Like I feel like I was at LMU and I might have watched a couple.
Yeah,
like, they were just so fun, dude.
They're good memories, and like watching them back, I'm like, wow, I did a really bad job editing these, but like they're fun videos. They are fun.
Well, because at the end of the day, it was not only are we competing, but like we're all great friends.
Yeah,
we're all best friends. So not only am I, playing a sport I love like flag football, but I'm also just being with my friends.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're just spending time. You just
I got you.
I feel like this sounds. I haven't gotten this yet, but like I feel like putting it on a camera is something that made it so much more like it's like you're competing for something. You're competing for an audience, regardless of if that audience is 100 people on my YouTube channel or 1.6 thousand people on a 3v3 football game. I mean, it's just it was something that I liked about it was how competitive it got and how there was story to tell. I don't think I told the story very well, and I don't think at the time I reacted to the story very well. But once we got further along, once we got to season 2 especially, there was like storytelling, things that's going on. It's like there's consistency and the competitiveness. It's still there, but it's if we had the roster from the first season, but put it in the way that we set up season 2, I feel like it would be much better.
Is there going to be a season 3?
Mm-hmm. Most likely. We'll say that.
I feel like you have now you have
it's complicated because
it's a lot of.
We've been working on the basketball league for a long time now, and there's 8 games in it, if that.
Just availabilities and everything. It's just so annoying.
There's literally the championship, the losers bracket, and we did film the second semifinal game. So I will say that now we have filmed that game, but at the same time, we have the losers bracket, the the championship series, and it's just like one of those things where you're like, it's hard to finish it, which is why we might not. I think I said this last time. I might have. We might not even do the 3-on-3 flag football league that we had planned for this summer, because I mean, if we can't finish basketball, then we can't finish that. Like we're not. It's the same thing. Like basketball has everybody in state. We have availability pretty much all year, right? Technically, like not actually, but like they're in state pretty much most of the time. If we did flag football, the idea was for out of state people to do it, a 3-on-3 league, right? Because they couldn't compete in the main one. If we can't do basketball in 8 games, it takes us 4 months to do 8 games.
Yeah.
How are we going to do? What I think it was also 8 games with 8 games plus playoffs with flag football. Like
that's just a nightmare.
That's a nightmare. Absolutely. And I just wanted to treat it like I just thought we could have like our own version of football, real football, 7-on-7, but make it flag.
And then we brought in playing like 2 or 3 games a day.
Yeah, that flag football. That we'll never play 2 or 3 flag football games again. We played 2 once, and the camera almost died. And then it got dark, and then
was that the one I was in it?
Yeah,
yeah.
And y'all had to forfeit. Technically, half the team forfeited, half the team didn't. But
that was horrendous.
That was a bad game. I think it would have been a good video because we were annihilating them.
Having the camera on helps us take the rules more seriously.
Oh yeah.
If you know the rules.
Yeah.
We have people.
Nobody reads the Google Doc.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's very annoying because it's like, we'll have people that.
I think it gets a little intimidating to some people.
Yeah, they're like, oh, why can't you onside kick after every kick? And I'm like,
because it just wouldn't be.
Because like, first of all,
they hadn't even read it at that point.
I was like, sign a waiver, wear pads, and we can do that. Like that's not happening. I'm sorry. I was like, if you want us to do an onside kick after every kick, that's not gonna happen. It's not something that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
You locking your car?
No, I think the alarm just went off on my car.
Uh-oh. Somebody's breaking in my neighborhood.
There ain't nothing in it.
That's awesome.
They can have it.
So yeah, I mean, let's talk about non-Jaime things. We've talked about Jaime enough. I don't care that he's our guest. He's not our guest anymore. He's family.
I'm with that.
I'm just kidding.
I'm family. Hell yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. He's not our family. He's not part of the bloodline. Let's talk about. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, guys. We're so close. I posted a short today. We'll probably be at 1,000 by the time this video is posted. If I'm being totally
next week.
Maybe next week. Maybe the week after. I'm posting a short.
Wait, when will this be posted?
Who knows?
Well, maybe everyone will just unsubscribe and we never hit it.
Why did you want that? Go home. Go home.
Hater, bro.
Leave, please. Coopman will be very excited.
Let's just get Brady and all of his 1,000 girls to subscribe.
Oh yeah, that's about right. The locker room, the roster.
The Snapchat quick ads.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Add Brady's Snapchat in the description if you want to follow.
That's what you don't want to.
That's so bad. I remember when we were filming the late quarantine videos, and I asked Brady, I was like, "Do you want me to put your Snapchat in the description on camera?" And I posted it on the video. I didn't do it, but he didn't know. Like how he gets like really quiet.
Yeah. He doesn't have he doesn't like come back with anything else. Just good.
No. Jaime, you need to compete. You need to get back because I had this idea to do a video recently where I was like, we take everybody that goes to different states, right? Everybody's in different states. I was like, we take VA, we take GMAT, we take whoever
AB3,
whatever, right? We take them, we give them, it's like Louisiana versus the rest of the country, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
If we could get to queer on that, that'd be hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah. Multiple different sports, multiple different events, whatever. It's just like a point system, a scoring system. I think it'd be sick, but
that'd be very sick.
It's so tough to schedule these things, man.
It's horrendous.
Like Paul, Va, etc., versus.
Oh yeah, that one morning for Squid Games, Va was like, I have a money opportunity. I was like, it better be like over $200.
No, he texted me because it was like $200.
Yeah,
it was something like that.
Okay, well that's valid.
He asked me, but
what was it? We're just moving furniture.
He was moving like these shoes, these nice Nike shoes. It was something like that, and he was like, yeah, they're also gonna give you a pair. I was like, I wish I could, but I can't.
I feel bad because he did show up after the first event had ended.
Yeah.
So it's like we just finished the first event. Like we could, if we didn't finish it at that point, it was like I could have worked him into it in some way, but at the same time, it was just kind of like...
You just told him to go home.
No, I was like...
He just chilled out.
I was just kind of like, I'm sorry, I can't just like throw you in now. Like everything already happened. We're already on the second round.
At least he made the effort. That's true.
And I felt bad, and that's why I want to invite him to that one, especially like the cross country or the cross state deal. That's why I want to do that, because I feel bad for that. Like I feel bad for not letting him do it. And it's not just, I mean, like it was kind of not his fault at the same time as it, like, you know, kind of was my fault. But it's like, I couldn't just wait, and if I had waited 30 more minutes, you know, we would have been there.
Well, we didn't know how long it was.
Yeah, we didn't know. And that video still took about, you know, what, 5 hours to film. We were there like all day.
Really?
Yeah, you missed out. It was fun.
I know. I did.
And it's fun. We all had farmer stands, and because it was hot.
Oof.
It was hot, hot day. But let me just say, I'm officially a brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah, that's right. As of yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Saturday.
You feel like a new man?
I don't.
You don't.
Nothing has changed at all.
Nothing has changed at all, except now I can say that I have a sister-in-law. My brother got married.
And he has to give gifts when they have a child. You have to start giving everyone gifts.
Their child is at my house right now, hiding in the other room. Their dog, Daisy. Daisy's actually been in a video before. And she's been in one of the flag football videos. And, of course, she was acting like a maniac in it, but, you know.
2-year-old dog, what you gonna do?
Yeah, she's an adolescence asshole right now. You know how it is. But anyway, Jaime, thank you so much for your time, dude. It's been a great time talking to you. I love everything you had to say to us today. I appreciate you coming on, I don't even know if it was really short notice. I guess we scheduled this on, what, Friday afternoon? Something like that.
I have nothing to do, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you came. I'm glad.
Happy to have you on here, buddy.
Very happy
Glad
to
to
have
be
you.
here.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the story and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope everything is great at LSU with lacrosse. I hope you can survive. Hope it keeps going, and maybe who knows where it'll take you. That'll be great. I remember the last thing you said to me before we left state when we lost our senior year. Keep doing YouTube.
Yep.
It'll get you far.
I said do great things.
Do great things, and you know what, Jaime? You do great things with lacrosse. Because that's your thing. That's your
Try.
thing. That's your calling.
I try, man. I really do.
All right. Please subscribe.
Wait, do I get my
Oh
question?
yeah, shoot. We're also on Spotify. If you want to do the Q&A thing, Winston, hit him with it.
Okay, so if you had to 1v1 Michael Jordan 10 times in a row, are you scoring on him one singular time out of those 10 chances?
No.
What's the points to?
It's just one time.
So
are you scoring on him once?
No. So like you said, you 1v1 him 10 times.
No, you just not 1v1 him 10 times.
Oh, you have 10 reps.
You have the ball 10 times on offense.
Possessions.
Are you scoring once?
No.
Michael Jordan in his prime.
I'm draining the thing in Michael Jordan's mouth.
I'm having to run away and like throw it over my head or something.
It's gonna have to be something like ridiculous.
I don't even think I need the ball 10 times. I think I just if I'm in the area code, I'm draining it over. That's just how
Parking lot.
I'm in the.
I'll need all 10 and I still won't get it. I'll need 15, maybe.
Wait, the Mavericks are getting killed right now, huh?
I mean,
I think they're down. It's 3-1 or something.
yeah, no, it's
3-1.
3-1. It's 3-1, but they're about to reverse sweep, so that's all that really matters. No Mavs.
Please subscribe.
That was
Hear all the
legit.
good stuff. Follow the Spotify. We love you. Maybe we'll see Jaime again one day. Shout out Coop, man.
Yeah, shout out Coop.